Welcome to Never Too Late for Fitness Radio, bringing baby boomers proven strategies and innovative products for getting fit, staying fit, so you can live a longer, healthier, and happier life. Here's your host, best-selling author and fitness advocate, Phil Ferris.
This is Phil Ferris, and welcome to our show. Never Too Late for Fitness Radio provides answers and straight talk about fitness, nutrition, and healthy lifestyles for people over 50. During each show, we talk to real health and fitness experts solving real problems with proven solutions you can apply in your day-to-day life. One of the biggest keys to getting fit and staying fit over 50 is consistency. It's finding that program that's just right for you and then staying with it. My guest today will share why 80% of his clients have trained with him for over 6 years or more. My guest today is Mike Concha, a personal trainer at Equilibrium Personal Training and Studio in Barrington, Illinois. Mike has been a trainer for 20 years and received his degree in exercise science from Western Illinois University. Mike's passion for sports and fitness stems from his extensive and varied athletic background, including tennis, soccer, bodybuilding, and mixed martial arts. His competitiveness and love for sports led him to pursue a career in personal training. With his experience and dedication to fitness, he has the ability to customize a workout program catered to the individual's specific goal pertaining to their health and fitness needs. Thanks for being on the show today, Mike.
Well, thanks for having me, Phil.
To begin with, Mike, can you tell us a little bit about Equilibrium Personal Training and describe the types of people that you work with there?
Sure. Equilibrium Personal Training is a private studio. We are currently located in Barrington, and we've been in our new location for just a little over 2 years. We had our 2-year anniversary, back in February. But before that, we were in Palatine for 8 years. So we've been around for a long time. And we're, as far as type of clientele, I would say most of our clientele, median age, probably being around the mid-50s to late 50s.
And is this a place where there's multiple trainers and multiple classes and things?
Yeah, this is, we don't offer classes here, especially now with COVID. So it's more of a private studio. And there's no gym membership base. So the only time you're actually coming to our facility is when you're seeing your trainer on a one-on-one basis. And we currently have 7-8 trainers right now.
Okay, cool. So I'm kind of fascinated that over 80% of your clients have been training with you for 6 years, some of them up to 12 years. What is it that you do that makes them that committed and creates that kind of loyalty?
Yes, you're right about that, Phil. I've been very fortunate. I have a lot of clients I've been training for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, like you said. I don't think there's a secret recipe. I think my clients, all our clients here are well-educated. They're smart people. I think they see that passion. You can't really teach passion. So I'm very passionate about what I do. And it doesn't matter if I've been working with the client for a year or 10 years, I'm going to give them my all every time. Don't get me wrong. We all have our good days and bad days, but I'm going to give them my individualized attention each and every time and give them what they need or what they want. Just making them feel comfortable when they're coming to the gym, giving them a good experience, and just having fun with it too. Because who says you can't have fun and get in shape at the same time, right?
Right. Okay. So you say, give them a good experience. What do you mean by a good experience? Because again...
good experience would be, when they come in the gym and they leave the gym, do they feel better than they did when they first walked into the gym? Do they have more energy? Or do they feel like they accomplished something? Do they feel like they got something out of the workout?
Okay. Because some people, some trainers that I've worked with, their definition is good experiences if the clients crawl out and they beat them to a pulp. And
that's not my style. I have more of a nurturing style of training, but don't get me wrong, I still push my clients and challenge my clients. But my goal or my mission is not to have them vomit or or crawl out of there. But don't get me wrong, I do challenge them.
Okay.
And so, I'm sure they can attest to that as well.
When you work with people over 50, how do you make sure that they're a good fit for your program?
You know what? I don't think it's about making sure they're a good fit, because I'm going to train anybody. It doesn't matter where you're from, how many times a week you're going to train, whether you're 20 or whether you're 80. I'm going to treat you the same way I'm going to treat everybody else as far as attitude and as far as the approach. I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to make sure our workouts are everything's going to be, I want there to be progression. So I'm going to make sure it's informative in the beginning and then go from there. I think anyone can, as far as being a good fit, I don't think you can neglect anybody as far as that. I mean, anyone should be a good fit. I think the question is more, is the trainer going to be a good fit for that individualized person? So I think that's the question, more of a question that I think is more relevant.
Well,
if you don't mind me saying that.
No, that's fine. Help me understand a little bit about what should people, especially people over 50, what should they be looking for in a trainer?
That's a good question. So, Phil, I've been doing this for a long time. There are several things that you should look for when you're looking to work with a trainer. One of the things is, credentials. Do they have a certification? Do they have a degree? Another thing is experience. Experience you can't buy. Okay, so have they working with clientele for 5 years, 10 years, for 6 months? And then passion. That's something you can't teach. Is the trainer passionate? Do they really care about what they're doing? And you're going to see that through the workouts themselves. I mean, are they giving you that individualized attention? I've worked with trainers before in the past where they're watching TV during, while someone is doing a squat or an overhead dumbbell press, or is the trainer talking to another trainer during, that person's workout, or is the trainer going to check their phone? To me, that's all important. Don't get me wrong. There's some times where, I may have to use the restroom, or, I might have to step out for a second, but I'm never going to have that client be doing an exercise while I'm gone. It's going to be during a rest period in between sets, or they're doing a static stretch where it's safe.
It seems that besides the credential part, then you look at the person's, alignment with your attitudes or approaches to fitness.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because passion is everything. Like I said, clients will see right through you. So you have to be passionate and really care about what you're doing. Are you attentive? Are you paying attention? Are you giving that client the individualized attention that they need and that they want? Because at the end of the day, they're paying for a service. So you have to be able to provide that service and deliver each and every workout, not just for the first one or the last one. So
I know that two of the things that people over 50 are concerned about, one is avoiding injury, and the other is recovering from injury, because
yes,
we're more prone to that as we age. So what do you do to help make sure that you minimize the risk of injury, and then how do you help them recover from injury?
I have a mixture of my clients. Proper cueing is important, and knowing who you're working with.
All right. Can you give me an example of that?
For example, proper cueing, let's say, for example, somebody's doing a squat, right? So you're going to tell the person to make sure you're sitting back on your heels, making sure you're keeping your chest upright, making sure you're driving through the heels. So just things like that. As far as recovering from an injury, I actually had a client who had a hip replacement not too long ago. So, and this is a client and their gentleman in the 60s. And we knew about this. It wasn't like it happened, in a week, like, okay, I'm going to have a hip replacement, Mike. So, let's do something about this. No, we knew months in advance that he was having a hip replacement. So we did a lot of exercises to help strengthen the muscles around the hip, to help with hip mobility. So we did that. We concentrated on that in addition to, doing other exercises for the rest of his body. But we focused on that for 3 months, Phil. And after his hip replacement, he only did, I think, 2 weeks of physical therapy, and they cleared him after that.
Okay, great. So I want to go back to your concept of cueing.
Okay.
Because this is, people respond differently. I know that I've worked with clients and I'll say, sit back, put your butt back. Or, I try and come up with different verbal cues.
Yeah.
Sometimes they they don't get the mind muscle
the mind muscle connection. Yes.
So how do you when someone doesn't quite get it, like how do you engage your back, and then they don't know how to do that. So how
you know what? That's a good question. Some exercises clients are going to get right away, right off the bat, and some exercises are going to take not just one set or one rep or one set or one session. It might take weeks. So you just have to be patient with the client and be consistent with the client, and they eventually will get it. You just have to be patient. So, like for a squat, like going back to the squat, for example, I might get somebody who's just completely out of shape, very weak core, very tight lower back, hamstrings, and they can't even do a body weight squat. So we might have to get a bench or a chair and just practice sitting onto the chair and then sitting back up and just making sure, because it's at the end of the day, it's an everyday movement. It's something that you're going to do for the rest of life. Whether you're sitting onto a chair, you're sitting on the toilet seat, you're constantly sitting and getting up.
Because I remember there was a time when I was having some trouble due to some leg injuries. And what the trainer had me do is actually, sat on a block. And he said, now you should be able to be in a sitting position and then get up.
Yes.
And then back down. And then he just progressively moved the height of the
block. Remove the block and another block. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. You want there to be progression, right? You want to improve from where you started.
And to teach the muscle memory versus for me the hard part was I wanted to compete, and I said, well, I used to be able to squat with X pounds, and they said, yeah, but you're adapting now for your injuries in your back and your knee, and you might be able to lift the weight, but you'll be doing it wrong, and you'll get to a point where you're going to compromise the rest of your body. So let's really retrain that muscle memory so you're doing it correctly, and then worry about the weight. So for me that was good because my ego. You took the words right out of my mouth, Phil. I was just going to mention ego, especially with guys. Sometimes they just have to leave their egos out the door. That's been trying to come back either from an injury or come back after a layoff. There is atrophy. There is neurologically we forget. We have to remind those neural pathways.
And then the muscular endurance might be a factor too. Just recovering, you're not going to recover as quickly in between sets as you used to prior to your surgery or injury.
Some of the biggest misconceptions people have about working with a personal trainer.
Oh God, there's so many. The first one that comes to my head is, and I've heard this, if I had $1 for every time I heard this one, I'd be a rich man, Phil. But I want to get in shape before I start working with a trainer. Or I have to lose 10 pounds before I start working with a trainer. And that's the whole reason why you sign up to work with the trainer, is so they can help you get to your goal.
And then what often happens in that situation is they don't lose the 10 pounds. They don't get back in shape. So it's like now it's 3 months. Now I'm out of shape that much longer. And it becomes an obstacle in their own mind that says, I have to be at this point in order to take advantage of a trainer, where they would have gotten to where they were going to go had they started in the first place.
They would have got there, yes, a lot quicker. Not that it's a race, but they would have got there a lot quicker and safer, right? With less chances of possible injury.
Are there any other misconceptions that you have besides I have to get in shape before I start working with a trainer?
Yeah. Well, here's one. I've heard this a lot. I don't want to train too heavy because I might get big and bulky.
Okay.
So everybody, some people don't understand that everybody's body is built differently. Everybody's metabolism is different. Body structure is different. So some people are gonna have just really thick legs. It doesn't matter if you do high reps or low reps. Some people are just gonna respond better to different exercises, respond quicker. There's no reason why you can't benefit from strength training, weight training with a trainer. There's no reason why you should be afraid of getting bigger or bulkier.
That's a statement that I've often heard women say,
yes.
Well, I don't do any straight strength training because I don't want to look like Hulk Hogan or
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk or whatever. Yeah. And so how do you help people understand?
Well, I try. First of all, I tell them the benefits of weight training for women. With strength training, weight training, you're gonna improve your bone density, which helps with osteoporosis. You're going to increase muscle mass. Sometimes they get afraid of muscle mass, but I just tell them that just because you hear the word you're going to increase your muscle mass doesn't mean you're going to get big and bulky. That just means you're going to have more muscle on your body, which means that you'll be able to burn more calories at a faster rate. So you have higher your metabolism is going to speed up, right? So you're going to burn more calories, which is why you're here. One of the reasons why you're here is to build not to build muscle, but to burn calories, right?
And what are some other benefits that women can get from lifting weights and building muscle mass?
They can improve their core. That's a target area for a lot of women. They can strengthen their glutes, tone up their glutes. That's another target area for women. And the triceps, the back of the arms, that's another target area for women. So if someone comes to me and says, "Oh, I'm afraid I don't want to, strength train, weight train because I'm going to get big and bulky," well, then okay, I say, you know what? We'll just do exercises at a higher rep range, so we're going to tone more. So you're not going to get big and bulky if you're afraid of getting too big and bulky.
And the other thing that as women add mass, they add shape to their body.
Exactly.
Especially for women over 50, now all of a sudden they have, they can start to see the shape to their shoulders, so their dresses look better. If they, just all of a sudden they have better form, and all of a sudden that's usually the thing that they'll say to me. After a while, they'll say, "Oh wow, my clothes fit better. They look better on me because there's shape as opposed to
exactly."
And that's really what they're looking for, the aesthetics of it.
Yes. It's not all about aesthetics, but yes, that plays a big part of it. I mean, because at the end of the day, people are trying to get in shape because not only do they want to look good, but they want to feel good as well. So.
A couple of the biggest obstacles that people have kind of traditionally is time and money. How do you help your clients overcome the time and money issue when it comes to training and getting fit?
Okay, well, time, I don't like, I'm not a big fan of when people or clients say, "I didn't have enough time," because then at the end of the day, we all have time. You just have to make the time, because life is all about balance. You have to balance work and life and kids, school, et cetera, et cetera. What I try and tell them is, you don't have to spend, because this can kind of go back to a misconception as far as working with a trainer, just working out, period. "Oh, I don't have time to spend 3 hours in a gym or 2 hours in a gym." You don't have to spend that much time in a gym or outside or at a studio. What you want to do is just make sure you are doing things consistently on a consistent basis so it becomes part of your daily routine. So like some clients, for example, like after I work out, let's say I trained a client today, and he says to me, "Oh, I can't do my cardio today because I can't get in 30, 40 minutes. I said, "Okay, you can't get 30, 40 minutes. Well, how about we do a 20-minute session and just up the intensity?" So that way we keep that consistency going, or that routine, or make that part of your routine. So instead of missing a whole session, just make it a shorter session, but maybe work a little bit harder for that session.
Are there other tidbits or tricks that you could share in terms of how people can fit their exercise and fitness routine into the daily life?
That's funny. I just I had this talk with a client not too long ago. They own a company and they have a big warehouse. I think he said it's about a quarter mile if he walks from one end of the building to another. So instead of sitting at your desk for 3 hours, 4 hours in a row, set something on your phone, set a timer on your phone, a reminder where you're getting up on the hour, every half hour. Just go for a walk, move your body, stand up, do a couple stretches. So that way you don't atrophy, or not atrophy, but that way you don't get so tight and keep everything loose.
Okay. And you also get more, if you get up and walk, you're going to steps in, which is movement.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a lot of people want their steps in, so that'll help them as well.
And then now, in terms of the concept that says, I can't afford to work with a trainer. How do people handle the money or the investment part of what they spend versus the benefits they get of working with a trainer?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money. At the end of the day, I think working with a trainer or just exercising, period, is going to be the best investment in your health, right? Maybe it's a matter of fact, maybe it's cutting back on some other things, some leisure activities, and then making a budget for training. Or maybe you can't afford to work with a trainer for the rest of your life, or maybe you can't afford to work with a trainer 3 times a week. If you can get in maybe 1 session a week, and then that trainer is working with you and maybe writing up some programs or workouts for you the other session or other 2 sessions would be great. Just because you sign up with a trainer, start working with a trainer, doesn't mean that that's forever. If you can work with that trainer for a long time, great, more power to you. But if you can't for money reasons, strongly encourage you to have a budget, make a budget, and invest in your health.
Going back to your clients, there's clients that have been with you for 6 up to 12 years. How do they justify to you? I mean, how do they justify spending the time and money with you? They obviously see it as a good investment.
Like going back to routine, or lifestyle. I think for a lot of my clients I've been working with for a long time, it's part of their lifestyle now. Like they can't not go to work, or they cannot exercise. It's just like and all our clients here, I'm not speaking just for my clients, but all our clients here, I would say 95% of them have standing appointments. Okay. So whether it's 2 days a week, 3 days a week. So it's just part of the routine. I'm also big on building relationships. I have a very strong relationship. I could honestly say I have a very strong relationship with not most, but all my clients. I think that has helped keep our relationship or our training going for all these years.
If someone is over 50 and are thinking about, getting back into a fitness program, what are some recommendations you would give them, whether they work with you or not, just generally to make sure how should they approach starting an exercise program? And then if they want to choose a personal trainer, how would they select one? So
first of all, no reason why you can't start an exercise program or work with a trainer. Because at the end of the day, you only have one body, right? One life, one chance. Don't take your health for granted. Whether you're going to invest in a trainer or not, you should definitely get out there and be more active.
Is there any specific questions you ask people to try and make sure that they're committed to a program?
Yeah, like going back to time. Some people might use time as they're not ready. Some people might not be ready, or you'll hear that excuse, or I just need to wait 1 more week, or maybe I'll start on Monday. The time is now, right? There's no. I mean, we've gone through the COVID-19. There's a lot of people who are going through mental issues. Everybody, I think, more than ever needs to start getting outside, start being more active, not just for the body, but for the mind as well.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a high correlation to physical activity, working out, and the effect it has on mood, well-being, and also as a natural approach for alleviating depression and mood swings. The greatest prescription we have for moods and well-being is diet and exercise. And those are relatively pretty cost effective when you think about it in terms of what they do, the benefits.
Yes, absolutely.
And you look at what's going on with COVID, and all our normal structures have been kind of limited. Getting back into normal, physical activity has got to be a big part of that. And it also will help your immune system. So I guess the question I always ask people is, okay, are you happy with how you feel and how you move and how you look? And a lot of people will say, oh, not really. What are you going to do about it? If you don't change anything, you're going to be in the same spot a month from now, 3 months from now, 6. What are you going to change that's going to make a difference in your body, in how you feel and how you move? And again, for over 50, that's how do I look? How do I feel? How do I move? are critical dynamics. They reach out to a trainer or to a club. They have a reason. They're just looking for someone to show them the path. When you have a brand new client, how do you make sure that they see that initial success so they stay with it?
Well, you're going to have to really, really hold that client accountable, and make it more than just a 60-minute session or a 30-minute session. So in other words, not just train the client for that hour and then, okay, I'll see you next workout. Good job today. But you're going to have to give them homework as far as, maybe making sure they're drinking their water on a daily basis, making sure they're doing the cardio on the days that they're not at the gym. So just being on them and just making it more than just a 1-hour session, showing them that you really care, making them accountable.
Can you give us a specific example of how you may have taken you go from that session to the transition into the period of life, the period of time that they're not working with you to make sure that they continue? So give me a more concrete example.
I'll text or email a client, just for feedback. How was the workout the other day? How do you feel? If they tell me they're sore maybe in their legs, I'll say, okay, well, why don't you do this particular stretch or maybe go for a walk to help loosen things up? What did you have? What did you have for breakfast today? And then they'll tell me, okay, so maybe you're eating too many carbs, so maybe we can, cut out one slice of toast and, with your eggs. So just little things like that. But just, like I said, make it more than just a 60-minute session.
So you really are making the investment in them. That forces them to make more of an investment in themselves and to the program that you're working with them.
Yes, especially with the with homework assignments. Whether, like I said, whether it's did you do your cardio today, or maybe having them fill out a nutritional journal for the week to see what's going into the body. So are they getting the right amount of protein? Are they getting the right amount of nutrients?
Now, everybody's still pretty concerned about COVID-19. So what do you and Equilibrium do to ensure clients' safety when they come to your establishment?
One big advantage that we have at our facility is we're a private studio. Not to mention any big health club, any names, or to name names of these big health clubs, but a lot of people are still afraid. Yes, there's a lot more vaccines going around now. People are getting more shots, but still a lot of people are afraid. We have that advantage as far as we're a private studio, so we're never going to have too many people at the gym at one time. It's a big enough facility where I know that we can spread out a little bit more. Everybody's wearing a mask. Okay. We are wiping down equipment constantly, and then we have clients who do virtual sessions as well. Another thing that we have is we have our garage, so we could always close those doors and have people isolate themselves or work in the garage if somebody's afraid that there's too many people. We can reserve some times for an individual. Like we'll have the garage for the whole hour. Even better, with the nicer weather, we can open up the 2 big garage doors that we have, and we can do sessions outside. We have tires, we have ropes, we have medicine balls, and we can take all those outside on the concrete or on the side of the building. So we're doing some exercises on the grass. So there's no reason, no excuses why you can't come and enjoy a workout and feel safe about it as well.
Now, Mike, as we kind of wrap up here, is there any question that I didn't ask that I probably should have that would be of interest to my over 50 listeners who are thinking about getting fit and staying fit?
My message here today is just to get people to move, to get people to be aware of their bodies. And, like I said earlier, we're only given one life, one opportunity. So don't waste it.
You don't want to be in a situation where you can't do the things you want to do because you didn't take care of the body you got.
Yes, and don't be afraid to reach out to a health club or reach out to a private studio and to work with a trainer, because at the end of the day, everybody can benefit from a trainer. Because I've worked with clients as young as 10 years old. I currently work with a client 79 years of age. I've worked with clients who have had a hip replacement, like we talked about earlier. I've worked with a client with Parkinson's. I've worked with a client with MS. So there should be no excuses or no reason why anyone can get out there and benefit from an exercise program.
And one of the best ways of doing a program, if you have any limitations, hesitations, is with a trainer who can not only give you the accountability, but also can develop the program so you can focus on your body and they can focus on what you should be doing now and going forward. Because you're really buying a program when you work with a trainer. They're setting up a system for them as opposed to just doing a workout. So that's...
Yes, it's more tailored to their needs. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Mike, I want to thank you for being on the program. If people want more information about you and Equilibrium, where should they go?
They can reach us on Facebook. They can reach us on our website. Our location is 860 South Barrington Road. I'm sorry, South Northwest Highway in Barrington.
Okay, Mike, I want to thank you for sharing your insights and your passion, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Phil, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and stay fit, be active, and God bless you.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Never Too Late for Fitness Radio, hosted by Phil Ferris. To learn more about the guests or resources on our show today, or to listen to past episodes, go to nevertoolateforfitness.com.